Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Johannes. As he said, I'm with Nerif, and what we do is we make Web3 DevX suck a bit less, and we hope to improve everyone's life in here, everyone who's building. That's really what we do. So, how does a dApp look like? You would think you have some blockchain, right? On top there's some business logic, some smart contracts, which are, containing all the functionality. And then on top of that, you have some kind of user interface, which allows you to interact with the smart contract or a set of smart contracts. Now, the reality looks a bit more like this, right? You have a lot of moving parts. You might want to include off-chain data. You might want to have cross-chain interactions. You might want to process things. You might want to have events. The smart contract doesn't execute itself. You have some kind of trigger. And all that stuff you need to build. And all those different things, they make actually developing a dApp a headache. It's a non-core part, as we call it. And maintenance is even worse. We've talked to some larger projects out there and said that about 20% of the engineering and cost is running all those moving parts. It's not about the actual contracts in the middle, but it's all that stuff around which makes it really, really, really annoying and complex to use. Also, many of those non-core parts are repeated. They're repeatable. Everyone uses them. Everyone needs to have some kind of scheduling. Everyone needs to be able to react on some kind of events. So let's automate it, and that's exactly what we do with Nerif. One more comment, and we'll get to that in a second. What about platform risk, right? Do you want to trust a centralized system to automate your stuff? And if that system breaks, your system breaks? Not really. So what do we want to do, right? At Nerif, we are with the builders from the beginning. When you start building a project, you open your VS Code, your IDE of choice, you open Remix to debug, to deploy things, you open Hardhat, and you also open Nerif. Basically what it allows, and you'll see that in just a minute, it allows to automate and to enrich your dApp from day one while building it. And the whole thing, that's the cool part, it's completely decentralized. You don't run any kind of party risk. Nerif is a separate physical network that allows us to be cross-chain, point one, but it also allows you to have peace of mind that no one, not a centralized entity, no one can change your workflow once you've deployed it, and you can be sure that it's actually executed the way you have built it. Okay, let's build something. A very simple example, a lottery contract or a lottery app. So how does it work? On one hand side, you can pay in money into this dApp, and then once a week, by magic, one winner gets chosen out of everyone who's paid in, and it receives all the money. Very, very simple. However, which is with native tools, you can't build it, because who's going to pick the winner? So, please start the video, and I'll walk you through it. Okay, so here we have the smart contract of that lottery contract. You see there's a function called enter in the middle. And there's a function called pick winner. The function enter allows you to enter it, it's payable, and the function pick winner is basically just executed. It checks is there enough players in the game, and if so, it randomly picks someone and sends the money there. Now please don't nail me on the security of the smart contract. I know the random function is not very secure, it's just a demo. Okay, so we've seen that, and now we open the Nerif application. Give the video a minute, please. Exactly. We log in using my MetaMask. You don't see that in the recording, but I'm basically just signing a message. And now we're logged into the dApp, which is interacting with the network. We built a new workflow. We call it Workflow Lottery. And what we want to do now, right, we want to execute this workflow once a week. We now do it once a minute, so we actually see how it works, but you can choose different triggers, all cross-chain. We're going to use now cron rule. And we define this. We want to run it once a minute. And then what we want to do first, we have an action. We actually want to check first to make it gas efficient. Is there enough players in the smart contract? So we select the chain, Polygon Mumbai in this case. You can all do all cross-chain, so you can basically mix and match inside workflows. We copy here the contract address. And the function we want to execute is player exists. Then based on this data we get back from that call, we check, okay, is this function we get back true? So we select that same variable we had before, and we check if it is true. If it's false, that means there's not enough players in the contract. We basically just exit the workflow, we don't do anything. If it is true, now we pick the winner. Right? This way, we only spend gas, we actually only write to the contract if there's more than 2 players in the game. Once again, we select Polygon Mumbai, same contract address. We now have to put a gas limit because that's actually going to cost us something. And we now execute the pick winner function on that contract. Very simple, very simple. Let's deploy that. We're deploying it on-chain, so it's completely decentralized. It's now registered in the Nerif smart contracts on Polygon Mumbai. That's it. It's pending quickly. It's going to be active just in a second. And now we can try it out. So now we switch over to our smart contract we have deployed. We connect my MetaMask, once again, with one address. And we execute the enter function with 0.2 Matic. We switch now to a different wallet. We once again do the same, 0.2 Matic. That's it. So now we have 2 players in there. So now we should choose. You can see there's 2 players who've entered. And we should see just in a second how now that this workflow is being executed every minute, it selects a winner. You can see here it selected the winner already. If we go into that transaction, you see 0.4 Matic have been transferred from the smart contract onto the winner of that lottery. Very simple example. I think everyone in here who's a developer knows how you can build a lot more complex things. There's that. It's basically unlimited to scale that. I'm stopping it now. And then we can actually go back to the presentation. So, one more thing. Nerif Alpha is live. You can try it out. It's currently live and active on 5 different EVM chains. We have it on Polygon Mumbai, we have it on Gnosis, we have it on Ethereum Gurli, we have it on Linea, and we have it on BSC. So you can really build really cool cross-chain interactions. If you use the referral code Nerif EDCON, you'll get priority access and you can actually start building very, very quickly. So yeah, thank you very much for this. If you have any questions, I'm here.